Hey y'all, happy Thursday. All right, so digging back in where we left off yesterday, in that we are responsible for what happens to the faith that God has given us. What are we doing with it? Let's go to Romans chapter 10, verse 17. And it says, "So then, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God." So faith comes. Faith increases. How does faith increase? By hearing the word of God. And Jesus talks about different levels of faith or different amounts of faith throughout the Gospels. So let's go in Matthew 8:10. And this, I'm showing you this because I want you to realize and see that even though he's given to us all the measure of faith necessary to cover us for whatever need may arise, we do have to develop it, that we can still have, like in this one, 8:10, when Jesus heard him, he marveled and said to those who followed him, "I tell you truly, I have not found so much faith as this with anyone in Israel." The King James says, "Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith in all Israel." So here, Jesus quantifies the faith. How much faith is this? Is great faith, a lot of faith, large faith, if we can say that. In Matthew 14:31, he says, "Instantly Jesus reached out his hand, caught him, held him, saying, 'O you of little faith, why did you doubt?'" Now this is when Peter walks on the water, and he takes his eyes off of Jesus, of course, and begins to fall. And Jesus says, "You of little faith." And the other, let's see, Jesus says the same type of thing in Mark. Let's see, this is where he said, "Peace, be still." Mark 4, verse 40. And he said to them, "Why are you so timid and fearful? How is it that you have no faith?" No faith there. And so we can tell by Jesus' conversations and talking to people throughout the Gospels that even though God has given to us the measure of faith, some people have great faith, some people have so much faith, as Jesus said, some people have little faith, and some people no faith. Yet God has dealt to every man the measure of faith necessary. So it goes back to what Paul said in Romans 10:17, that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. The more we attend to his words, the more we meditate on his words. You know, I think about Joshua, and I love so much about the story of Joshua, and I love that Caleb is in the story of Joshua. But he tells us, the Lord tells Joshua in Joshua 1, verse 8, he says, "This book of the law shall not depart." Now this book of the law, these are God's words, his commands to his people, the Israelites. "This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, that you may observe and do according to all that is written in it. For then you shall make your way prosperous, and then you shall deal wisely and have good success." Meditating, Psalm 1, the same thing. But his delight, this is Psalm 1:2, but his delight and desire are in the law of the Lord, and on his law, precepts, instructions, and the teachings of God, he habitually meditates, ponders, and studies by day and by night. And then he shall be like a tree planted by the streams of water. And so, why is it that the meditating and the study and the keeping it before your eyes, keeping it in your mouth, why is it that comes first, and then you make your way successful? Then you're like a tree planted. Why is that? And we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.